The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our ServiceNow series, where we interview the best and brightest of the industry to share their story, advice, and views on the exciting world of ServiceNow and digital transformation.
Hi, you're listening to the Alldus podcast ServiceNow series. Today, I'm joined by the Managing Director and the ServiceNow Practice Lead for Capture. Welcome to the podcast, Istvan.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and good morning and good afternoon for everyone.
And so today we're going to cover some of the unique services that Capture are now providing for their customers as a premier partner in the ServiceNow market. We're also going to cover some recent trends that they've noticed, some case studies as well, and of course we'll be touching on AI today too. Istvan, though, it would be great just to hear a little about yourself and your journey to now.
Yeah, thank you very much. So my name is István Görgei. That's a weird Hungarian name, I know. I'm originally from Hungary, but currently I'm living in Zurich, Switzerland. And basically I started as a trainee for an American company called GE back in the old days. GE had a money, a banking system and a banking group. And this is when I first touched a project portfolio management implementation for a larger bank in Hungary. And this is how we actually started our first company, and that was Capture. Basically, that was, back in 2009. And this is how my journey started. Originally, I've been hired like a technical consultant for that solution, what we implemented over there. After that, we started to grow, and I became manager. Then I had the possibility to lead the entire department. Then I had a little stop here, and I jumped to sell another product with another company. So I joined to the dark forces of Atlassian, and basically I thought that agility and especially scaled agile will be the future, and this is why I thought that Atlassian and especially Jira Align will bring some more value for our customers, and this is why I jumped into this kind of new business and new offerings. And basically, later on, I figured out that the hybrid way and the hybrid life is more efficient and more operational for most of the companies and organizations. And this is why I jumped back to ServiceNow, because what I can see on the platform and in ServiceNow, that basically they are trying to combine everything like workforce together. So we can have here not just projects and tasks and agility, but every single work item what you must plan and track can be available here on the platform without any kind of integration. But if you need to integrate, then that's also a possibility. And a really easy to use platform. So this is my personal journey. This is my short career update. That's it in a nutshell.
That, and so like yourself and how you've evolved through your own career, Capture's also evolved slightly over the years now as well. So can you tell us about Capture as a business and how your services have kind of changed or progressed as the years have gone on?
Basically we started with a different product. So ServiceNow, it just came, I think, 7 years ago into our life. However, before that, we focused just on project portfolio management solutions, multiple ones basically. And what Capture did at the very beginning, we started to resell and implement project portfolio management solutions. But when you do this, you can touch certain areas like project management and governance and portfolio management and strategy planning. And therefore, we had the possibility to basically handle it as a value stream for us. And based on this kind of value stream, we had our development team to actually develop solutions for our customers, not just based on project portfolio management, but on everything. So that was something like custom coding. Then we founded test management department, and we have huge testing knowledge and a lot of testers in our team, internals, externals. And then we figured out that the group must be separated somehow. So when we are talking about capture, we have a group behind, and the group contains two entities, let's say. The first one is 3Size, the second one is capture, and the 3Size just focusing on another product branch, Broadcom products, Broadcom software products, mostly automation. And then at Capture, we figured out that we will focus on ServiceNow, and slowly on ServiceNow. So yeah, that was the only thing what we figured out, that this is our future. So if you think about the past, and yeah, I think 20 years ago at the university, I also had the possibility to experience how SAP works. And that time I had this kind of feeling, okay, this is such an old technology and it will obsolete from the market. So I would never go to that direction because I felt that basically this is something like old and it won't renew itself. Yeah. But today SAP is still with us, yeah. and bigger than ever, let's say. So I think the same about ServiceNow and the journey. And if we follow this kind of journey together with ServiceNow, I think we will have the same journey. So basically, this is how I see our company's future. And this is where we are coming from, this kind of strategic portfolio management territory. However, by this time, we figured out internally in the team, when we had something like a new project for a new customer, of course, we hired people and onboarded people. And if you want to find SPM-related guys in the market, you cannot really. So we selected that option to retrain ServiceNow certified people to have the SPM certification and the business logic and the business background about the strategic portfolio management. Therefore, we collected a lot of different certificates as well. Yeah. And we started to transform the full service and the company to that direction, that we could consult to our customers or advise our customers how to connect the dots internally in this technology workflow. So if you consider like IT service management, item like IT operation management, item like IT asset management, those are the foundational stuff, what you should have. And SPM and enterprise architecture, just, the portfolio items where you can see everything from those components. And to be honest, you need all of them to have a complete view on your IT infrastructure, operation, IT strategy, and everything around your IT organization. So this is currently our flagship. This is what I can say, because now we have the understanding from the helicopter view, so from this kind of portfolio view, how we could connect the dots together to have a comprehensive picture for the C-level. And basically, if you just think about your IT service management as a standalone tool, then your C-level won't get that kind of results out from the system, because it's not on their thinking. Yes, we can say that they can have the benefits by leveraging the cost of let's say the outage because of the incident management procedures, but this is just a benefit from the processes perspective. However, we can have really a strategical view using SPM and enterprise architecture based on those foundational items. But for this, we must connect the dots. And this is the knowledge what we have internally in Capture. So yeah, we are coming from this kind of business world and strategy portfolio management, but we can also think about the IT infrastructure elements. And this is really the point here.
So if you're speaking to customers that have less of that helicopter view and you're trying to enable them to have that, I'd imagine the process needs to take into account what silos exist and how to eliminate them to broaden the C-suite's ability to have an overall view. So what are the biggest challenges that you face while trying to introduce this concept?
So basically, if we go back in time and if we just look at a simple and traditional customer journey with ServiceNow, a lot of companies started with IT service management. And every company has this kind of understanding, okay, this is a ticketing tool. And the IT guys are doing something over there, and I can do some requests over there. But no one has this kind of understanding, okay, but this is a connected ecosystem. And the biggest challenge for us to really destroy all those kind of barriers and silos what we have internally or in the organization. Because if you think about the users and about the professionals who are using the tool, you can totally distribute, okay, they are using it for ITSM reasons, they are using it for operation reasons or for asset management. And no one can have this kind of complete picture to connect all those elements together. So this is what we want to achieve with every single customer, to educate the users that this is more than just one ticketing tool. And basically the other benefit and added value here that the customers and also the C-level must understand that we can have more value out from a single platform than like integrating piece of software together and basically adding up a reporting layer on top of this, because that's not a data structure what you can use for AI or reporting reasons on a more advanced way. And I'm not just talking about the past. So if you look at your data, the most what you can get out from that data to forecast the future and really see something, a vision based on that data. How can we realize those trends, and how can we eliminate something like a problem using those trends in the future? So,
and in terms of a case study, I'd be curious to know if you've got any kind of more specific examples of how these services have really impacted the customers that you're working with.
Yeah. So one typical journey for us. So as we are mostly recognized as an SPM partner, we start always with IT, and we start with IT because IT has a huge pressure on it, and basically they must showcase some transparency towards the business. So if you think about the traditional organization, we have the business side and we have the IT side. And business also always blaming IT. Okay, you cannot really deliver this and that and this. And therefore IT must create something like a transparent layer. And this is project portfolio management and strategy portfolio management, because in that you can showcase easily all the demands that are coming in, all the capacities what you have from resources and externals and budget perspective, and you can basically plan your future on a roadmap from the strategy perspective. Then you can plan your projects and agile initiatives in the same place, and you can showcase to the business guys, okay, this is the picture. So please rank your initiatives by priority, let's say, And then we can figure out a timing, a roadmap for those, because those are the capacities what we could have. If we would like to increase the capacities, then we will have a bigger cost. So yeah, this is the classical project management triangle what we have. So scope, budget, and schedule. So this is what we can play, and you can have the possibilities to do this kind of play. So this is why we are coming from the IT side, most of the cases. But when we have this kind of transparent picture, business has the appetite for it. So they are about to really jump into this because they would like to have something similar on their business projects, and really just to have those kind of plans and forecast together. And I can tell you one exact customer where we had this situation. It's an Austrian engineering customer, originally an American, but currently that's an Austrian company, and they're producing gas engines. And this was the journey as well, that we started IT then business. And then we are touching other points as well, other functionalities in ServiceNow, like ITSM, sometimes GRC as well, because we have a lot of dependencies towards the TAP strategy. So this is what you always need to connect back to your strategy, to see those items as well, how those dependencies look like in your future. And this is a typical journey.
Appreciate you giving us that overview in the specific example as well. And with being in the partner space, of course, Capture is more of a boutique partner. So I'm curious to know, like, what is it specifically about being a boutique partner that makes you so invaluable to your customers?
Yeah, that's a really interesting situation, what's going on in the market. So basically what we see currently, that the bigger firms can win projects like from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then
because they've got the name.
Yeah, because they have the name, and we know all about the background here. And later on, the customers on this journey figures out that we would need someone who more specialized on topics like this. And this is when they are reaching out to us. Yeah. And this is when we can come and basically rebuild the foundations and create something better from value perspective. Because I don't think so that that's the right word, but and this is a little bit bullshitty, but we really want to create value for customers. So our goal to have something for our future as well. And if we look back to our customer bases, 99% of our customers still with us from the past 8 years, because we have this kind of relationships, how to really work together to get more value out from the platform. And this is how a boutique partner can live on this market. And we are trying to be more innovative than the other partners, and we are trying to go forward with all the advanced techniques. There's something like AI. We are trying to really put more effort into this topic to figure out how can we really help. So that's one thing, that ServiceNow has certain functionalities and features in the tool, but there is another thing, how can you utilize those? And how can you really solve your business problems with those features and functionalities? This is when the boutique partner can translate this kind of business functionality or this kind of IT functionality to a business issue or business problem.
Yeah, I know, because much like you're enabling your customers to be much more agile in the way that you work or the way that they work, you as a business can be more agile because there's less hierarchy. You can have a bit more of a personal service for them as well. And like you said, in return, that creates great loyalty between yourself and your customer base. So great to hear. And do you often get to work with other partners that maybe have slightly bigger scale? Like what does that collaboration look like?
Yeah, so we have bigger firms. Most of the cases on the first tier, so they are the prime contractors for customers, and they are involving us in specific situations, like I mentioned before. So
Yeah. And from that, you get to kind of pull on the strengths of both the kind of much larger scale companies and then yourself as
yeah,
a boutique partner and all the great things that you're able to do.
yeah, and
And
one thing what I would add here, so yeah, we are not we won't tell about a company that we can solve any kind of issue inside ServiceNow. Therefore, we also collected 500 professionals around or services, yeah, freelancers and externals who can help us to solve situations. So this is
yeah,
also a possibility for not just subcontracting, but to prime contract as well. If we need someone specific, then they can help us to understand the business problem. So the setup would look like that: all the architects sitting in our company,
yeah.
and we can design the architecture and the business solution for this. And someone from the expert pool can really fulfill this kind of activity by doing the technical job at the background. And this is the idea what we have at Capture, that we must build the knowledge and the architectural knowledge around service now, and all the rest can be figured out, the technicals.
I know, and there's like a parallel between leaders and individuals that are managers or people in your position, that also being a leader is someone that can identify your key strengths, the things that you're best at, and how you're able to knowledge share with other people, but also identifying areas where you lean on, your colleagues, the people that report to you for maybe a technical question or advice around some specific customer query that they've maybe experienced before. Yeah, there's a great parallel between that and as a business also, knowing that this is your core skills, this is your bread and butter, and this is what I'm going to collaborate with people on. And the market obviously changes over the years, and ServiceNow is maturing as well, especially across Europe. What is it that you're really most excited about in terms of new features that you're going to be able to work with implementing for your customers?
Yeah. So it's a really good question, and I have a vision about the product. Maybe they will copy my vision, or they will implement my vision, and they will listen to my vision. But what I and coming back to this SAP topic, what I mentioned to you back in my university years, when I entered the solution, we had to use shortcuts like combination of letters and numbers to reach certain menu points, to reach certain functionality. And this is what I feel currently with ServiceNow as well. So the menu structure is really, really, really tricky now. So if you have a full platform, somehow we need to eliminate this kind of menu structure. And I've seen an interesting case connecting everything together with AI, that basically an end user just need to ask questions and maybe just create some requests by typing it what she or he thinks about, and then all the procedures, all the stuff behind the scenes could manage the request. And this is the way, and this is the future way of working, I think. So I believe with an integrated solution, we will have the possibility to use ServiceNow as a key platform for everyday work. And based on this kind of chat-like user interface, you can interact with the other systems as well. And ServiceNow can be the control tower for everything, because everything logged over there, everything can be managed over there from processes and workflows perspective, and from authentication and user rights perspective. And we could have something like this. And this is what I believe we will reach like in 5 years. I can see some signs about this, but this is for me the true fake AI, because it's still just processes and execution at the end, but the experience for the user, that's much more human-like.
Yeah.
Human-like, and this is what I see like a most interesting thing, if we could reach this, to have something like this, because there's something like a conversational layer, and yeah, that's how we are. So every human just about to work in communication and not to click on buttons, and yeah, that's totally weird, but this is the future.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And specifically within the SPM space, is there any particular AI features that you anticipate for your customers and what they could benefit from while using them?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's not a ServiceNow built-in functionality. This is what we are adding on top of the service and services. Basically, what we realized that our biggest enemy in every single SPM project and every single SPM workflow is the missing data. So we cannot really make decisions about missing data. So if we have some loops and if we have some gaps in our data structure, then we cannot really see the things in the system. So this is where we figured out that we would like to help the project managers to agile Scrum Masters, product owners, to everyone, just to fill up data. And from this perspective, we're collecting all the knowledge from the past projects, past AI or agile initiatives, and we are about to fill this kind of data gap by generating data based on the lessons learned and the historical data. And from that perspective, at least we have a starting point, and the project manager can add more information to this one. However, but we can handle here the scope elements, the project task with all the dependencies, with resource allocation based on skills. We can handle here all the risk logs, all the financial requirements or budgeting requirements, all the business case components. So we can pre-generate everything for the project managers, and that's the same for the agile workers. Basically, then she or he can review the pre-filled data and make some modifications. But for sure, that's a really good personalized template for the specific project. And this is one thing where we would like to help. And this is really a good example how you can use AI for your own purposes and how to make your job easier and less administrative. So, but we still will have the data, and we can trust the data, and we can make decisions based on that data. And that's really good. This is the power what we would need. And this is where we invested a lot to actually give this kind of functionality for customers.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that the kind of three key areas of project management are, of course, budget, timeline, etc. So I'd be curious to see exactly how these AI features will dramatically impact those three areas. And for yourself and your journey, we talked about that at the start of the episode. What is it you would say is the kind of key elements that you have that make you a great leader?
Yeah, so basically what I think in the current environment and market situation, we must have some kind of democracy in our company and in our teams. However, we should create the boundaries. So this is what I have as an advice for everyone, to use your team and And basically, in case of AI, I'm always telling to my team that I always tell my team that they should use AI for their operational to-dos and for everything. We need their brain power and then their creativity. And this is what I mean about democracy. So they can rule a company, let's say, from this angle by their ideas. However, we always need to have a review on those. And this is what I talk about, or when I'm talking about the boundaries. This is something that's really important to have the governance around everything.
And I think that advice will speak to a lot of people in management and just in any industry, to be honest, as well, because it is so easy for people to access, ChatGPT, etc., to get an answer to something, but really qualifying it with your own professionalism and insights is what's going to make the difference between something that's good and something that's maybe slightly lazy at times. So no, I appreciate that. And looking to your younger self, is there any specific advice you would give yourself if you were to kind of look back on who you were 5-10 years ago?
Yeah. Basically, I can go back to my university experience. We had a subject at the university when we actually learned about how to foresee the future. And we always just, kidding in our class that we will use something like a crystal ball to figure it out, or some tea, and after the leaves we can see how the future will work out. But without joking, I think this is the most important advice, that to realize, to understand the past. You can drive your present, but without knowing or sentencing the future, you cannot really plan anything. So, and basically, we always want to, and this is my advice to every single employee in my team as well, that we should see at least for 3 years. Then we can come back. And I'm not just talking about our own company, but about technology and about the full world. Basically, we should foresee something, and then from that we can come back. And maybe we will make mistakes because we are not wizards. But that's the idea, and we can always fine-tune a little bit on that plan if we are coming closer to the situation. So this is what I'm thinking of. So to have a 3-year strategy, then a 6-quarter outlook for your delivery items, and 2 quarters like fixed delivery scope, what we would like to achieve. And this is my management methodology as well. So this is an advice what I would give to myself to think about this.
Lovely. Well, I appreciate it. It's very good practical advice and something that those listening could be able to apply for themselves. So, Istvan, that brings us to the end of the episode, but I really appreciate you joining me today, and it's been lovely to get to know you a bit more and really hear more specifically about Capture and the work that you're doing that's great within the SPM environment.
All right. Thank you very much for inviting me, and that was a really good discussion.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.